Johnny Manziel. I wanted to get into that real quick. I wanted to start there. I think that this is good, right? This is one of those situations that people tend to forget about. People tend to forget about it, and they say, "Well, it doesn't matter." Reggie Bush's time was over, and obviously, what he did wasn't right at the time, and it was against the rules, and he got his just due. Well, now, Johnny Manziel is advocating for him and basically is backing Reggie Bush. He skips as he skips the Heisman honors. And it's kind of interesting. I'm not gonna say that obviously it's a bad thing, but I will say it's a little interesting and we'll mine this out, we'll get into it, and then we'll understand where things are at. So let's get into this story. Johnny Manziel, the 2012 Heisman Trophy winner, said Saturday that he will not attend the annual Heisman Trophy ceremony until the NCAA returns former USC running back Reggie Bush's trophy, which was stripped from him following NCAA sanctions. Now, for the people that aren't aware as far as what happened with Reggie Bush, he obviously accepted gifts. This was forbidden at the time, and so they took his Heisman back once they did their own investigation and found that he had accepted gifts during this time. End quote, after careful thought and consideration, I'll be humbly removing myself from the Heisman Trophy ceremony until Reggie Bush gets his trophy back, end quote. Manziel posted on X, doesn't sit right with my morals and values that he can't be on the stage with us every year. Reggie is the Heisman Trophy. Do the right thing, NCAA. The ball is in your court. Now, I think at some point it's kind of it's kind of true. I think at some point it's kind of true that at the end of the day, if the NCAA can't make a ruling to give this man back his Heisman after allowing all the NIL deals and allowing everything to happen, what's going on now, it is a little questionable. The real question is, who makes this decision, right? Who makes this decision, and is it a board decision? Is it obviously a careful consideration as far as from multiple people? Does it have to go through a different chain of events for it to happen, or is it someone that could just go in and say, all right, we'll go ahead and make this decision and just get people to sign off on it and go from there? Is it a vote? Is what I'm getting at. But we'll keep it going. We'll keep it going. It says Bush and USC each returned their copies of the 2005 Heisman Trophy after a 4-year NCAA investigation determined that during his Trojans career, Bush and his family accepted cash, travel expenses, and a home in the San Diego area where Bush's parents lived rent-free for more than a year and for which they were provided $10,000 to furnish from agents hoping to sign the star. Bush's NCAA sanctions were delivered in 2010, and they mandated that Bush dissociate from USC and included a 2-year postseason ban for the school. 14 vacated victories, including the 2004 BCS National Championship. This was a hell of a thing when it happened. For those who remember, for those who don't, this is absolutely a hell of a thing that happened. And the loss of 30 scholarships. 30 scholarships. So because of this one situation, this one event, it cost 30 people scholarships. Continues on to say his 10-year disassociation period ended in June 2020. In July 2021, on the day, name, image, and likeness NIL rights were granted to athletes by the NCAA, allowed them to profit in the same way Bush did, and he released a statement requesting his Heisman and NCAA statistics be reinstated, as they should. As they should. Because right now, if you give other players the same opportunity to go out there and essentially make money for their talents and for what they're doing, then you have to go back and look at how you took away from somebody else. And listen, we can veer off a little bit and get into just the world in a sense, right? We know that um, there's things that have been made legal that people have had been arrested for and have had long sentences for, and now things are legal in that realm. And is it right for those people to sit in a box because of something that that they did 20, 30 years ago, and now that's legal. It's kind of interesting. It brings up a lot of different ways you can go about it for sure. But we'll get into the quote before we get into the chat with you guys, and we'll mind this out. It says, "It is my strong," end quote, "it is my strong belief that I won the Heisman Trophy solely due to my hard work and dedication on the football field. And it is also my firm belief that my records should be reinstated," Bush said. So there you go. There you go. My big thing is this. I think he's right in the sense of, hey, it's my hard work that earned me the Heisman, right? It wasn't anything that you guys did. It wasn't anything anybody else did. I didn't just have this trophy handed to me. I actually had to go out here and work for it. I had to go out here and put my talent on display and earn it, and which he did. And so for it to be taken away due to obvious reasons, um, obviously the NCAA does have that right because that was the rules. That was, the standard back then. But I think now is the time that, hey, make it right. Go back and give this man his statistics, which is very important, and give him his Heisman back. Give him his sense of pride back because, you know, right now you've got people getting millions of dollars. You got people living in condos from USC, and it's a big slap in the face of Reggie Bush. So yeah, I definitely agree with Johnny Manziel. I do like that he's making a stand about it. And hopefully Reggie Bush can get his Heisman as well as his statistics put back within the NCAA. Let's go and get to some of these chat or these comments. Says once a game in our tournament. Shout out to you, FSU. What's going on with you, Ryan? Texas 13 Sports. Yeah, we'll get into that, bro. We'll get into that soon. Shout out to you, Texas 13. Derpy Entertainment says Tom Grassi indeed writes the scripts. Interesting. All right. Shout out to Ernie Brown. What up, yo? Ernie Brown says Johnny is right, especially with the money being paid now. How much did they make off that number 5 jersey? Oh, yeah. I think the biggest thing is this. How much money was the NCAA making on college students in school and, athletes in schools before the NI deals happened? I think that's very important. These colleges were making millions of dollars off these kids year after year, decade after decade. And it's just now they have a chance to go out there and make some money for their talents. And, that's the reality of it. So, give that man back what belongs to him. Shout out to Adam says, as a lifelong Bills fan, I have to believe it's scripted or I have wasted 60 years of following my team. Adam, we'll get into it. We'll get into it. Shout out to you, Shantae. What's going on with you, Shantae, in the house? Darren says, yo, what up? What up? Proud to be an official member. Let's go, Darren. Let's go. Members of the family coming through, showing the love. SEC and Big Ten run football, not NCAA. Well, when it comes to these rules. Shante says, I remember when I heard about this. This is crazy. I couldn't believe it. Yeah. Yeah. NCAA is FOS. USC seats 100K at their stadium at 40 a pop, so $4 million per game. They were always pros. Listen, and see, that's the kind of those are the kind of numbers that people don't really pay attention to, right? They love the players, they love the hype around it, they love the game, they love watching it on Sundays, Saturdays, whatever college football is on. They love the hype around these guys, they love what they do. But they didn't realize the amount of money that, these schools are making. And some of these officials in the NCAA were making from these athletes. So yeah, obviously you guys know the story, the dilemma. I think the big point here is, Reggie Bush is due for his Heisman back, as well as his statistics being placed back in the NCAA. I think it's only right, right? Now, that's not to say that it will happen, right? We want it to happen. It should happen. But we know that the powers be that be is the ones that control this kind of thing. So, but I'm sure if enough people stand up and start making a true ruckus about it, then yeah. But I think you're gonna need, you're gonna need more than Johnny Manziel. You're gonna need more than just him. That's all.